Hello everybody and welcome. This is an addendum to a previous video where I used a scorch marker and cyanoacrylate glue with some mica powder for personalizing small turnings. I covered that in the previous video, but I had an idea to try out these chrome pen markers, both with stencils and attempting freehand, to see how they turned out. I've got a couple different woods, some cherry, black walnut, and holly. I've prepped half the surfaces with CA glue, and the other halves are bare wood, and I'll be trying out, in this case, let's see, there we go, Star Gold. This kit purchased off Amazon comes with a couple different colors. The instructions are simple: shake, prep, make sure you recap. I saw somewhere that it said it needs to dry for a little while. I'm going to use a heat gun to help dry those and cure them to the surface a little bit better. Then I'll be going over it again with some CA glue and coming back to show the finished product after CA glue and polishing to see how they turned out. But we'll go ahead and get started. I've prepped a couple stencils on the Cricut. Let's see how well these actually come up off of here. I always have trouble with the little fiddly bits. Yep. Does not want to come off in that direction. There we go. Now we'll see how well we can actually get it onto the wood. Now I've got to peel up the transfer tape while leaving the fiddly bits on the wood. I do have some weeding tools, but I've left those inside where the Cricut's at. If I have to, I can go back and get those. But I'm hoping a little bit of patience. There we go. All right. Got a couple more of these and then I'll come back to the video. Alright, I didn't have quite enough for all the pieces, but this is just a trial run to see how well it works out. Looks to have filled in nicely into the stencil. So I have to go over a couple of spots on the bare wood. I think it's getting absorbed a little bit. And I transferred a couple of fingerprints over. Probably need to be a little more careful with that. Needed to be a little bit more deliberate, but a quick freehand doesn't look too bad. Try it out on the holly here. And since I didn't have enough stencils to cover both sides, we'll do a little freehand here. On the holly, it looks to have had just a little bit of bleeding, although that may be the alcohol, not the actual pigment itself, because it does look like it's evaporating a little bit. We'll take a look at that in a little bit closer detail when I get the heat gun on it. And black walnut. Not my best freehanding. Looks like it took well to the black walnut though. I don't think I did freehand on the CA portion of the holly. I expect it to be pretty much similar. It feels a lot smoother. Even though I've sanded this down quite a while, there is a little bit of grain detail. Alright, I'm going to use a little bit of a heat gun. I will turn down the volume in editing. This can be kind of loud when it picks it up. This is a non-permanent vinyl that you might bought with the Cricut. The permanent vinyl prevents leaching a little bit better. But I want something I could easily remove. I'm going to have to come back in with a weeding tool for the paw pads, I believe. Hello, yes. I've got a puppy dog. I've got two puppy dogs and baby girls. I'll be done in a few minutes. So far that line looks to have taken quite well. Doesn't look half bad. Like I said, I'm going to have to pull those bits out with a weeding tool. See how it looks on the unfinished wood. Yep, definitely going to have to come in with a weeding tool. There's a little tiny bit of bleed through at the bottom there. overall not bad. I don't expect much different here since it's on the CA. It's a nice sharp line. Beginning to think if I were to use this method, I would do it on top of the CA finish first. Although on the harder woods, it does look nice and it actually is very smooth, which is something I ran into using the CA glue in mica, as it kind of left a raised surface. I'm going to leave these to cure for a while. It may be a day or two before I can get back out to them. Although they feel fairly dry, I don't think there would be an issue. One of the other concerns I have is cleanup. Get the hand oils off and everything before I put CA glue down. Normally I'd use a little denatured alcohol and let that dry up. But I believe these are alcohol pens. And it says the evaporate as the alcohol that transfers the pigment and then evaporates off, and I think that's what I saw on the holly. It'd be interesting to see how these do after a couple layers of CA glue to see if there's a big difference between the two. I'm actually having a little bit of luck getting up the paw pads there. That is actually kind of clean. There's a couple rough spots. I probably could have come in with a second layer after it's dried, but that is, once again, very smooth and much cleaner than water slide, which I've never had a lot of luck with. But we'll come back and visit this after I get the CA glue on. I'm probably going to do about 7 layers on top. It gives me a nice little bit of room to polish down on top of without breaking into the layer that actually has this pigment maintained on. Did I get that? I think I may have had a little bit, I think I got the toe pads off there, but I may have had a little bit of leak by underneath that one. These do come with a removing marker, this specific kit. Which is probably a little bit of why I'm concerned about using denatured alcohol to clean these off. I may just test that. But it does come with a elimination pen to help remove ink or pigment where you don't want it. As you could tell by it still being in the wrapper, I haven't used that yet. Definitely looks like while you have the stencil down, it would not hurt to put on a second layer. I'll have to get that under better light, but I think it did get underneath just a little bit. May work on that a little bit too. But we'll come back in a couple days. I'll have some CA glue on it and we'll take a look and see on how it turns out. Alright, so I didn't wait a few days. I gave it a couple hours. Was able actually to get back out here. From the videos, if you could watch, the denatured alcohol took that right off. I mean, it cleaned it up really well. So, no, not to do that. Other than that, I think it came out quite well. Since this is a show and tell, it's not quite my best cleaning job on the CA glue. I could have gone a little longer on the heavy lines. But if you can tell, I think it came out very nicely. And there's the Ember logo. I liked it better working on top of a couple layers of CA glue. It's kind of hard to see, but you can, if you take a look at the line work there, and then the line work there, you'll see just a little bit where it looks like the wood was uptaking some of the ink and not letting it spread out. I also may consider doing 2 layers, letting it set up between layers, just so that it's more consistent. I do like how that turned out. I think it turned out better on the darker wood, the walnut, than it did the holly. But still, not a bad look. Once again, this side was previously coated in the CA glue. And then this is the side that did not. And this one, it leached a little bit. This wood, the holly, if you ever worked with it, is very soft. So I think it leached just a little bit at the top of the letters while I was applying the CA glue. And you can see where it looked like it picked up a little bit on the edge there between the finished and unfinished sides while working on it. But overall, definitely a process I'll be using again. It was a little easier than the CA glue and the mica. Okay, it was a lot easier than the CA glue and the mica. And granted, that's not what the CA glue was intended for. But I definitely think this is definitely a product I plan on using. The kit I bought was golds, various colors of gold. Of course, it's got a tag over the front of it. I don't think it had a silver in it. Oh, nope, it's got a chrome marker. So that's definitely one I would use. I'd like to see if I can find a set that has silver in it. I don't think there was a copper, but there was some copper lights. Rose gold, mocha gold, champagne gold. I do like their gold markers. And a bronze gold. I think I'd probably would like to use that one as well. Well, I hope this helps somebody find it useful. Like I said in my previous videos, it's not something just for small turnings. This product does say it can be used on wood and other products, but since I'm primarily working on turnings at the moment and boxes, I think this will be useful in the future for myself. So, hope everybody had a chance to learn something or pick up some tips. If you can think of a better way of doing it or another way of doing it, share it in the comments. I'd love to find out better ways of doing it, and I'm sure other people would as well if they've made it to the end of this video. All right, everybody, y'all have a good night. Thank you much. Bye.